When Nicole and I were getting serious, we had a couple of heart-to-hearts about, "Hey, like, I'm in recovery for a reason.
Right.
I'm in recovery because I had a crippling drug habit. I did hard drugs. I drank handle bottles of vodka and gin. I lived on the streets." If you're with a potential partner for life, I think there's an appropriate time as things get serious to do some disclosures. I think it can be done appropriately, and I certainly don't think that you need to rehash a play-by-play of all of the crazy, particularly sexual things that may have transpired in those years. But in some sense, it's appropriate to some degree. There are women, for example, and men as well, who have been involved in prostitution. At some point, if your life is truly different and you're with a potential life partner, a potential spouse, I think it's very appropriate at some point to say, you understand I have a past. And while that is not my life today, it's still a part of my history. When disclosing the trauma of your past with your new partner, I think it's super appropriate to have those disclosures. And then, not going into gritty detail is probably a great idea. I don't think secrecy on the other side of that coin is a great idea either. I think it's important to get that stuff out, eye to eye conversation. Hey, I have a past. This is kind of what it looked like. There was a time where I was a prostitute. I used my body transactionally so that I could support my drug habit. That's a hard thing for someone to say, maybe equally as hard to hear, but it's the truth.
Right.
And if that's the truth in someone's relationship, I think that ought to be said, not on the first date, clearly, maybe not on the third, but if things are healthy and they're moving along, at some point before there's a permanent union, yeah, I think there's a disclosure that should be made.